The only thing I could think of was to ask who did this and where did they go.
And did you inquire of some of the other people around to ask that question?
Yes, yeah, I looked at the two people that were, I'd say the couple people that I noticed that were attending to Micah, and they just pointed that out that he'd gone up the stairs and over 84.
So what did you do?
From there, I started running up up the stairs up there. I crossed over 84, and that's when I saw Chase Robinson.
Chase Robinson is a person that was familiar to you before this?
No.
Someone you met?
I just met him there. He was standing up there. He was on his phone already. And I just quickly asked him if that was 911 on the phone. He nodded that it was. And I asked him, I said, who did this? Can you see the guy that did this? And he pointed to Jeremy that was walking up on the other road across from 84.
Were you able to keep him within your line of sight?
Yes, up until I lost sight of him at that tree.
And so you mentioned that you had fear that he might go take a corner and then you lose sight of him altogether.
Correct.
So what did you do?
So I had lost sight of him, and I could only assume that he had gone straight. So when I kept going down that little walkway, it's a very narrow walkway between 84, and there's a fenced parking lot there. But when I came around the tree, that's when I first noticed him there, and he was rinsing off blood off a knife that he was holding and his arm with a bottle of soda. He looked up at the same time that he saw me, and he looked at me and he asked, he said, "Well, are you a fucking snitch? Do you want some of this? Am I going to have to do to you the same thing I did to those guys?" From there, I turned around and ran the other direction because I was way too close.
All right, hang on. I just want to make sure I got that there was a lot of information. You made eye contact with him while he was by the tree?
Yes.
And he's pouring soda on his arm and on
He was
knife?
pouring soda on his arm and a knife had blood all up on the arm. He had there was a bloody bag of books or whatever else. There was a bag there to the side of him that was also bloody at the time.
And after you make eye contact, what did he say? And just go a little slower, I'm sorry.
He said, "Are you a fucking snitch? Do you want some of this?" And he held up his knife at me and he goes, "I'm going to have to fucking do to you the same thing I did to those guys."
What did you do in response to that?
Turned and ran the other way.
And what did Mr. Christian do after that?
Mr. Christian gave chase after me. Not very far. It was probably maybe a quarter of the block. And that's when another kid on a skateboard came by and distracted his attention there. And he asked him the same thing. He goes, "Are you getting involved with this? Are you following me too?" And the kid just put up his hands and he was like, "No, I'm just trying to go home." From there, he turned around and started walking back again.